Oi, how you doing, everybody? It's me, your boy Waddles. So, the Nether update, Minecraft 1.16, most recent Minecraft update. Even though it's the most recent update at this point, it seriously feels like this stuff dropped in literally 1940. But it's still the most recent Minecraft update. Minecraft 1.16 brought a lot of new things, and with those new things, new farms. Today, I thought it would be fun to throw those farms into a tier list. So you know what to do. If you agree with the tier list, leave a like. If you disagree with the tier list, leave a like. If you feel neutral to the tier list, also leave a like. I took a look at all of the features that were added in 1.16 and big things that were changed. I created a list of all of the new farms or significantly changed farms, and this is what we have right here. I'm pretty sure this is everything. Not 100% sure, but pretty sure. We'll start with a really basic one, Nylium farm. So Nylium, both the Crimson Nylium, the Warped Nylium. What do you use this stuff for? Well, really, its main use would be growing those gigantic nether trees, so not very useful off the bat. In terms of, a terraforming use, I mean, it's useful, but also not really in most instances. The colors are pretty weird, abnormal, which are cool for sure, but also not very useful. Also, Nylium farm, or just dig up the Nylium in the nether. Yeah, it's probably easy, if you need a lot of Nylium, to just go to the nether and dig it up. So a Nylium farm, right off the bat, is really not looking too hot. I like Nylium. The stuff is cool, the addition was great and everything, but a Nylium farm, like a farm for this stuff, yeah, it's not very useful. It's very easy to create. It's just netherrack and bone meal, but yep, E tier for sure. Minecraft 1.16 added a gigantic new structure, the Bastion. If you get really lucky and you find a Bastion remnant that sort of looks like this right here, then you're going to find a Magma Cube spawner inside of that Bastion remnant. Magma Cube spawner farm is the second Nether update farm that we're taking a look at. So right off the bat, I like spawner farms. They're pretty simple to create. I mean, you stand near the spawner, they're active, they drop mobs in the world. Yeah, so simple. That definitely is going to help this thing out, because if a farm is easy to build, that's definitely good for the farm. Now, the drops, what do you get from it? Well, really just magma cream and experience, which isn't the best thing in the world, unless you're into nether survival and living in the nether entirely. Then a magma cream is potentially pretty useful, because potion of fire resistance. Gotta be honest, I've never actually built a magma cube spawner farm quite yet. I'd like to eventually, but the concepts and the process, it all seems relatively straightforward. Get some fire resistance potions, and it should be pretty simple. Spawner farms, they're really easy to set up, which is nice. Now, the drops from a magma cube spawner farm aren't exactly the best, most useful things in the world, but it's a spawner farm, and it's pretty simple to set up. It's cool. B tier. One of the coolest things in the Nether update is definitely, for sure, hands down, the piglin. Basically, Nether villagers. Now, piglins, if you give them gold, they'll actually trade with you, barter with you. You can actually turn this into a farm pretty easily. Bartering farm is the next farm. So, from piglin bartering, there is a lot of garbage, admittedly. Gravel, not very useful. Things like leather, not the best. But also, you could potentially get some cool things, like crying obsidian. All for a piece of gold. That's it. Gold on its own, basically useless. If you can turn literal golden garbage into potentially something useful, I would say that's a pretty good deal. Even if you could turn it into something like string that at least isn't gold, to me, that's a pretty fair trade. In total, from bartering on Java Edition, there are 18 different things that you could get from one single barter, and of course different amounts of those things too. I could luck out and get 16 blackstone, or I could be unlucky and get something like, I don't know, 2 nether bricks. That wouldn't be good, but it's still cool. Super simple to set up. Probably the best thing that you could get from a bartering farm is crying obsidian. The stuff looks absolutely amazing. Yeah, bartering farm, definitely S tier for sure. That's a nice farm. Minecraft 1.16, of course, added brand new nether mobs and changed nether mob spawning. Minecraft 1.16 added this new biome, the Warp Forest, which is basically the best new nether biome. It's amazing, and inside of the Warp Forest, Endermen spawn like crazy. It is actually not the worst idea in the world to come to the Warp Forest biome and set up an early to mid-game Enderman farm, because Endermen spawn like crazy in here. They just keep spawning, and if the Warp Forest is a significant size, then spawns around you in the Nether will basically just be Endermen. The spawns will be relatively concentrated. Now, I wouldn't exactly say it's a great idea to build gigantic Enderman spawning platforms here and farm them like that, but maybe a simple 3x3 area that you stand under, 2 blocks high, and just take out Enderman from, like a low-tech Enderman farm, That's actually not that bad of an idea. It's an amazing way to get ender pearls so you can actually unlock the end and then farm these guys for real over there. Another enderman farm. Not exactly the best way to get ender pearls in the game once you open up the end, but early game before the end, amazing way for sure. Another enderman farm, whether it's a big thing or a small thing, probably a small thing, B tier. Nether vines are pretty cool. For this next one, we're combining twisting vines and weeping vines into one single farm because they're very, very similar. So right there, we have twisting vines, and then over here, hanging from the bottom of a block, weeping vine. Bone meal either of these vine types, and the vines will grow actually a pretty significant amount. Of course, it's very, very easy to load a dispenser up with bone meal and have it just on a repeating circuit, bone mealing this stuff like crazy. You can harvest the stuff with pistons, which is pretty cool, and it's a new way to climb things, which is nice, definitely nice. The twisting vines are probably a little bit more useful from my experience than the weeping ones, but they are both cool, and for terraforming decorating, they're nice. However, aside from those few uses, they are not very useful generally speaking, and there's a lot of them in the Nether that you could harvest pretty easily. D tier. Okay, so right off the bat, I have to be honest, I really, really like this one. Let's see if I can remember how to do it. So I think we do blocks right there, and then is it like soul soil down here, blue ice right there, and then the lava? Does it go like that? Just like that. Basalt generator, the next farm. I actually am a huge fan of generator type farms. I think the mechanics behind them are really cool. You have something pour onto something while touching something else, and it just turns into something new. Free block for literally nothing. Yeah, that's really, really cool. So right off the bat, these things are pretty simple to set up. You'll need a lava bucket, soul soil, blue ice. It's not exactly going to be the first thing that you build in a world because of the materials that you'll need, but it's also really not that difficult to set up, and it's insanely easy to use. You stand there with a pickaxe and mine it. You could make this thing a little bit fancier with observers, pistons, everything like that, and have it make like tons and tons of basalt much quicker, and then you mine it later, or you could just keep things simple like this. Basalt is relatively common. I mean, there's a whole biome for it in the Nether. I would say, though, that this is a nice-looking building block. This can fit into a lot of different builds, and of course, you could turn it into polished basalt, which maybe works a little bit better with different types of builds. Basalt, good block. I like the different placements, too. Having a lot of it definitely wouldn't be a bad thing. And it is so easy to build, but it's probably not as useful as like a bartering farm or something like that. So basalt generator, probably to put it in A tier though, it would have to be like a fancier one with like pistons and moving the blocks and everything like that. Otherwise, it would probably be in D tier. I think a basalt generator is a pretty nice farm. Alright, so I almost didn't put this one in the video, but I feel like it kind of needs to be here. Nether gold farm. They did technically change a little bit in Minecraft 1.16 after all. So, another gold farm. This is probably the biggest farm that you'll make in the Nether. To build one of these things, first up, Nether waste biome. You'll need to find a Nether waste biome that is at least a little bit big. So this one right here probably would technically be too small. After you find that, you're going to go up on top of the Nether, really high up, build gigantic rings, and build those rings out of magma blocks. So it's going to be like a lot of material collection. Build gigantic rings out of magma blocks. Center standing area out of something else. Make it safe. Then piglins are going to start spawning like crazy. Get them mad, they'll charge over to you. It's amazing. The farm, it requires a lot of work, a lot of time, tons and tons of grinding, but you get so much gold from the thing, which you could use for bartering, and the experience, it is like absurd. Honestly, it's crazy. And to make the gold farm even better, the bartering farm isn't even really that good and viable, at least an automatic one, until you have a gold farm that is pumping out gold. Gold farms, definitely good. The mechanics actually, in my opinion, got a little bit better in the Nether update too. I mean, yes, the magma blocks are definitely a grind. It's way more difficult than like a bunch of cobblestone, but the spawning is so much easier. I like it. It's really good. New gold farm, S tier, and then we're making a new tier right here for the bartering farm, S- tier. So that's like over here. Well, we'll just put it over here. It looks better, but S- tier. It's a little bit worse than the gold farm, but it's definitely better than a basalt generator. Okay? Yep. So I want to say that the new Nether trees are so cool. Like, look at that. That is so strange looking weird. And the blue one, even more weird and strange looking. They're really nice. And the wood types are amazing. Warped wood, crimson wood. They're only useful in certain situations, but they are still really cool. I'm a huge fan of more wood types, like always. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. More wood means more building options. But oh my gosh, building farms for these things is annoying. These things can grow like absurdly tall and straight right through blocks too. Yep, so they're like really difficult to contain, and basically you're gonna need like a bunch of blocks around them to reach them, and then a hoe to harvest all of the leaves and clear them out because they don't go away on their own, an axe for the wood. Yeah, it's kind of like really, honestly, an annoying grindy process to get a lot of this wood quickly. And to be honest, they grow like crazy in the nether, like these trees. Like, it would be way easier to go to the nether, clear out a whole biome of the wood, and get them nether wood farms. I'm so sorry. I've massacred you down a D tier. Yeah, it's just too much work for not enough output. Speaking of disappointments, the Hoglin farms. Yeah, when the Hoglin was revealed in the Nether update, I was so excited. I was thinking, brand new meat. Wow, that's gonna be cool. It's gonna be great. Maybe even better than beef. Whoa, this will be amazing. Mojang wouldn't just like give us pork chop V2. Yeah, no, they would, and it has despawned too. That's another problem. Yeah, so we're talking a Hoglin farm, not like a Zoglin farm or anything like that. A Hoglin farm. If you take these things out, you could get a lot of pork chops and a lot of leather, which is nice, but cow farms, come on, like why would you go through the trouble? These things are absolute demons. Like, oh, why would I want to build a farm for these things? And they just knock you around, and yeah, the farm needs to be in the nether too because they turn into Zoglins here, and that means no leather or pork chops. Not even worth it. Zoglins are cool, but they're absolute tanks. They're going to destroy everything, so we're not going to let that happen. No. The only time I have ever found farming Hoglins actually useful would have been in Nether survival, when we were literally living in the Nether, and it was basically the only food option. And building a farm for these things was annoying too. It ended up basically being like a room that I stand in, and I have to run out and find them, lure them over. Hoglin farms, not worth it at all. Hoglins are really, really cool. Zoglins too, but farming, pointless. Don't do it. But wait, it gets worse. Nether plants, they're cool. For terraforming, they could potentially be nice. I will admit that, but they're literally useless. They don't even belong in the tier list. They go on the floor. Me and my friends, we hate nether plants. And nether plant farms, we hate them even more. They're even more useless. You could just go to the nether and pick them and then bring them home and put them in flower pots. Don't make nether plant farm. No. So here we are. The final tier list is right here. We have a couple really good Nether update farms, some okay ones, and then a lot of, honestly, pretty bad and pointless farms, really due to how the Nether generates. For these things down here, you can just go into the Nether and find them in the wild. Don't even bother building a farm for them, and maybe you don't even bother picking them up. This definitely doesn't mean that the Nether update was a bad update though. For sure, no. The Nether update was a really good update, but the things in the Nether update maybe just generally aren't the best things to farm. So, do you agree or do you agree? Let me know down in the comments below. Remember to drop a like and subscribe for more videos just like this one. In fact, more videos just like this one, I've got you hooked up. On the end card, I'll put my latest tier list video. It's on all of the ores in Minecraft, which was really fun to make. Big shout out to Dark Panther 7 and the Camel 88. Thank you both so much for the support. Until next time, it's been me, your boy Waddles, tier list forever.